Hello, good evening, guys. Let's do a quick recap of last week and update some of the error predictions coming into the next 1 to 2 weeks. So first, let's see. We have cameras today, by the way. Looking at some of my stuff here. This is also data that's relevant to the stuff that I'm sharing here. Obviously, we have 13 euros per month price if you subscribe year on year. That's one of the lowest subscription prices for any sort of trading signal service that's profitable that exists. Certainly cheap for what I'm advertising. But of course, I'm also sitting with 11 paid subscribers now. So obviously, as I get more paid subscribers, the prices will increase quite dramatically. So there is an alert here. I'm kind of ignoring it a little bit. I'm keeping the prices for 20 euros per month at the base, with the 22 euros per month at the founder level. That's of course not including the year-on-year paid subscription 40% discount that I have presently, at least. So something that's relevant here is I have a data set here for AD14, and here's AD17. And we can see that I'm slightly underperforming my all-time, or not all-time, but last 365 days. It's pretty even, but slightly underperforming. It's enough to cause a 33% discount on the 90-day performance weight, but it's only 33% of the weight anyway. So the total price becomes 387 without a discount. Then after the discount calculations are met, we get this price. So I've updated some of my trades that we can see in our thing here. Obviously, if you come to this spreadsheet that I have created here, you will see everything that's relevant. We actually have to update this. I'll just quickly do that with you guys. Obviously, this is not live on stream, so you guys can just fast forward while I do this. I don't really think that will be an issue. We need to get this to sell 10,138, so something like that. And that should update. Probably at some point I would have to create a new spreadsheet, but let's see if we can squeeze another 5,000 trades out of this. And over in my tracked spreadsheet here for long-term and short-term positions, we can see that I'm tracking from the 4th of March till today, basically. And we haven't made a single winning trade yet. We got out of the coffee trade, and we have some limit orders that's sitting, and then we have the long-term short position that's we got in pretty well, as we can see on my longer-term trade position here. I have a very nice, at least I thought I did, maybe in the March contract. So this trade might disappear as we transition over to the June contract. But let's see. We got in all of these positions, right? I think we did. This was a 19785. 19785. Yeah, we did get in the last position right there. We had a bit of a drop, and we'll take a look at that very soon. So obviously the investments, we have some trade open. We have some limit orders open. If you subscribe, you can see those positions. I'm not, entitled to share those here. And we had some euro trades that I'm running. You guys can sort of quickly look here if you want. They might get stopped out, to be honest, but let's see what happens. And we had something on oil. Not the worst, but you guys will see that as I analyze. Anyway, these once a week, whatever, free updates I do, you guys can sort of see what it looks like when I take a trade, right? You should go back and watch some of the older error videos where I also put them in the introduction and stuff like that. You can see how it works when I'm sharing live trades, and everything's live, everything has timestamps. I'm tracking everything in a spreadsheet. I'm doing stuff that very few people are willing to do. So I think that it doesn't get much more transparent than this, unless you guys would, of course, want me to just like throw out a bank account and a Lamborghini or whatever. Not that I would spend my money on a Lamborghini, probably ever, but I still like to speak in that language, so to say. So, of course, if unless I go broke. So I squeezed out some risk rewards. I'm not sure why it says today, because today is not the 14th. I think if I do like this, it should change the data a bit. Now it's removes it. Okay, so on Friday, we made 13 risk reward, and the total period is, maybe I was blind for a second there. Anyway, the total period is 13.63, so a little sloppy compared to previous performance, and we are only up 3k. So it burns my neck a bit to look over there. So I'm gonna be looking back now, and let's go through some of the markets so we can get some predictions on what is going to happen here. And for that, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to be, sorry, there's a little bit of a jitter and lag there. I apologize. This is obviously how the front page of my journal looks like. And I'm gonna click on this one. And I'm gonna click on new video post. And then I'm gonna click on my block templates. And then I'm gonna create the error predictions. And gonna copy that over so we can work with that together. I don't have a fancy tile yet, but I made some cute emojis and stuff for the girls who are watching, if they ever do. Just stop looking up there, man. Like, it's a little, yeah. But yeah, here we are. So let's start with Forex, as we usually do. I've always started with Forex. And let's just quickly go through what I am seeing. So, not much has changed. God damn it. Oh, okay. Not much has changed. You guys can see on my arrows that I have a original plan from the 9th of March, and I have not moved any of these arrows. And I posted the screenshot on the free video release I did the 9th of March. So you can go back in Substack and find that. And I think we're still trading higher to come lower. So I'm not changing anything here. Then we had a shorter term perspective. You can go back and check the shorter term perspective. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to say we have a very obvious long-term resistance level below. That would be let's just take the level specifically, 107.61, 107.661, 107.661. And I don't want to be posting this every time, so I'm going to template that because why not? So you guys can also get a little bit of a glimpse into how it is that I work, quite simply put. And here we go. And then we have, this one might change a bit interchangeably, so I'm not really saving that. It's 106.275. So nothing has really changed in terms of my resistance levels here. As far as long-term support goes, I do think we're just coming up and going down, and I don't want to be posting that yet. I think we have a bit of a possibility to just be trading lower. So long-term support is not available. And we're going to be templating that as well. I think I screwed this up, didn't I? That's not available. And if we come back to our thing here, we will see that we have a short-term support level. I was speaking about this the 9th of March, and I think it was like over here somewhere. Friday, 9th of March or Sunday. So I analyzed and I said we could come down to punch up a bit. And if you go back to 9th March, that's what this gray arrow was. I wasn't particularly fan of buying it. I don't even know if I bought it. But right now, I'm suspecting that while this is still the case shorter term, we activated my orange arrow. So I'm basically saying at any point here, there's a potential for a trade, which could look, anywhere like this, for example. That could be the trade. You get a 0.5 reward, but you could also wait for somewhere up here and you get 1.68, right? The entire upward trajectory of this arrow is a bearish consideration. We can see that we hit it here. So that was enough to trigger the potential for this market to go lower. And what I'm going to do now is I think this is going to take place. I'm going to make 2 shorter term arrows. We could come up to come down. I might be trading that. I might not. I have no idea if I will. But there's a possibility that it happens. And there's also a possibility that we just come up a little bit more and then run lower. I would probably be more inclined to do like this now. And then like this. I think there's a little bit more odds favored in stack of this right now. And we could be going just below there. We don't necessarily have to be punching all the way lower. But longer term, obviously, I am thinking this goes lower. And this could happen if we come up and hit this level. So that's very clear, very simple. And I'm obviously going to be taking a screenshot of that. We have a longer term thing there. And we're going to be posting this here. And we're going to be posting this level, this one here as well. And you can obviously deduce yourself that if I have a screenshot of or a post from a specific date, then it's very likely that these screenshots were taken that day, unless otherwise instructed with the original long-term trade plan. So I think that basically puts us in the preparation for the dollar here. And that's about it. That's what I have to talk about. Obviously, you can reverse some of these with the euro, but I do think that generally speaking, this should be moving lower. And obviously the euro, I've shared the arrow like that. I have some trades open, and I think that we are looking like this still. This trade I've taken might not necessarily be the highest confidence within this orange arrow here, but I do think we could get a little bit of a punch higher, and then we'll see what happens. We've obviously moved a little bit here since November. Like, we've been stuck, right? And this is a significant change in movement here, right? So stocks and indices. I've started trading the DAX, but I don't think it's a very important market for me to be going through here. So I'm just gonna jump straight into equities, and I'm gonna be using the long-term and short-term levels for the ES. So we're still on the March contract here. And let's go over and let's check our long-term levels. I thought we could be trading higher to go lower from the 9th of March. And we can see that we had basically from the open, we came lower. We didn't really get to activate this orange arrow. So I'm going to be changing this a little bit. It's not going to be heavily different from the original. So I feel like we should be, able to keep it without much, change to the original idea. So I still think that the call is valid. I don't think we have to get all the way up here anymore. So I'm probably just more inclined to do something like this. I think this move was a little bit significant. I think somewhere in here, probably below some of this, like, so you can draw like a support and resistance level here. I don't really want to, it was okay while we were here, but I think where we are now, I don't really think we're going to get up there, but let's allow it anyway for the trade call. If we hit this red level, I might move it at this point. It should be the same level. This is 5967. Looks like it's the same over here as well. So I'm going to be doing the same for the longer term here. 5967, so 5967, that hasn't changed. And long-term support is definitely NA as well. And short-term support level, yeah, that I think that's in the market right now. I think we do have that, so I'll get to that. So I think there's a pretty good chance we continue higher if we get up there from what we've done now. I just don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm not like, okay, it's gonna come up here and then crash all the way lower here. The probability aspect of this arrow is that we reach all the way down here. But I think that it's closer to orange than not. So I might still paint it orange. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to keep this level here. We could get a bit of a retracement. There's been a lot of pessimism. And that's definitely why I want to sort of step in here, and I want to create a longer term. I think that we could see some significant up moves inside of this area as long as we stay here. So I'm gonna put my my green level here, and I'm gonna be putting it here at 5526.25 at the short term support level. Oh, 5526.25. So I'll be putting that there, and I'll be copying that over to our short term support level. And it looks like I had forgotten to put these as well, and then we can put NA here, and we are good. So how am I looking at this shorter term? Well, I think we have something to consider here. Oh, I think that we obviously have this arrow visible here as well, so let's just keep it like that. I think that we can be coming down to run up, maybe just here, which that would be sort of, I'll put it as a gray arrow for now. And then I think it can come all the way up here. And then from this point, I think we are gonna aggressively activate a bearish arrow, which will at least come down to the origination point of it. Possibly move lower from longer term perspective. But I do think if we do come up and hit some of these levels here, that could seek a more buy side. I'm a little bit cautious due to the volatility with putting more risk. I like to watch the market live when I'm trading, and this is why I recommend this paid version, so you can see my trades live. You can get the actual data. I do give this a little bit of a bouncy vibe short term, but longer term, I definitely think we are traded generally lower, right? As we can see on this arrow here on the weekly chart. And I obviously think if we do hit this, we might as well put this orange arrow. Oops. I might put this orange arrow there as well. So we're kind of operating with that. And if I just update this, longer term perspective here is a little bit similar. So why do I think the stock market's going down? I'm gonna make a couple of notes about that while I sort of talk about it. I just want to sort of have a little bit of a note section. I am watching sentiment on social media and various broad as well as business focused general media, and sentiment seems to be very shifted negatively upon Trump causing tremors in the USD and the broader US stock index stock markets. I want to see a little bit of break on that while we observe the so-called ceasefire talks between West and Russia. Overall, those peace talks seem to carry rhetoric of positivity. I watched a recent interview with Putin, who completely neglected the effort of the previous administration, and if I may quote, sorta, the new one at least opens up a general, I think he said direction for, the process, right? So obviously Putin is rhetorically positivizing the general aspect of these ceasefire deals. It's just that, and you will see about that, I'm going to touch gold a little bit. We just hit an all-time high. You can argue from a investor economics perspective that, from at least if I was going to argue this, and I'm not, but if I'm going to argue this from an economics perspective, how the perception of the market is around this peace talks and how the tariffs that Trump are spouting out there are being perceived. It's been perceived very negatively, but that's very focused on respects to Trump. I don't think Trump's tariff war necessarily is a war act, but I was tweeting and calling this a few times that I was seeing, that as kind of like a war event, and we're seeing a split now with like a sandwich with Europe in the middle, and then we have Russia. Can we stop that? Okay, so we have Russia in the east, and we have United States in the west, and then you kind of have Europe that's now going to have to try and flex some muscles here.
Update daily and hourly levels before evening routine.
I'm gonna probably have to mute that 1 second. Boom. So that's gonna cause problems for European Union, which forces them into a lot of high defense budget spending, which already is going to be a problem for high taxed societies. And to me, this peace talk, I don't think United States, or specifically Trump, wants that. I think he's putting a lot of tariffs, and he's going to pressure the European economy and the Canadian economy and other economies as well. And I think what he's gonna use this to get to Greenland. I think there's some kind of plan there where he's gonna try and use that to get Greenland. See if the camera fucking follows me. It's fucking creepy when it does. He's gonna use that to pressure something with Greenland and some kind of territorial and imperialistic aims. In what way? I don't know. It's just sort of the thoughts that I have. So all of this, I don't know if there's more I need to say, but I want to keep this short, and maybe I'll expand it more with paid subscriptions and founders. But my entire point is that I think the stock market's going to crash regardless of like a ceasefire or something like that, which like, oh yeah, the world is getting to a better place. I'm not sure about that. I think we're going to see a pretty good correction in the stock market, and I think the long-term prediction I made is taking us there. So that's why I am bearish. I think the things that's going around in the very sort of sensitive aspects of global geopolitics right now, and we have some very critical things developing with the ceasefire talks and the tariffs from the president, and there's other things on the horizon, and just that the whole sort of door of black swan uncertainty has sort of opened again. Trump says one thing, then retracts it, he puts tariffs there, then he pauses it, like a lot of shit that just makes it quite useless to predict and use any of that for anything decision wise. But I think there's sort of like a sentiment attempt to try and see if there can be some positive light shed on this potential ceasefire deal, which could cause a 30-day sort of general bouncing around unless one breaks the ceasefire. But overall, I think all of the tariff stuff and all of the negativity around Trump is something I feel is the best word I can phrase it as is by design. And all of that is going to take the stock market lower. Then we'll see, okay, as that pisses off retail, maybe some investors, banks, does that then lead to that strong leadership, whatever thing that's being advertised otherwise by Trump, by the pro-Trump camp, to then send the stock market higher? And that's why I want to very loosely be doing this, because I think that could happen. It's very, 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 very easy to jump in here and jump to some kind of conclusion. I don't know, but I'm kind of very loose. This is a stippled line here. I'm very loosely watching. I'm gonna go as low as 4,200 here. I think that's gonna lead to new all-time highs after that. It might be as quick as somewhere down here. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna put my new arrows. I have the long-term position here. I think, did that work? I don't think that worked. Oh, I screwed something up here. Can I redo? I think I can. And I remove that. I didn't screw it up. Okay, like that. Then I'm gonna put the longer term. That's the longer term. We're actually already recording 24 minutes. It's gonna be one of the longest free videos I've produced here. And I'm also upping my level a little bit there, a little bit more higher quality. I want you guys to kind of see the value of what I'm doing. And yeah, I think that's it. And then we have a short-term level. I think I'm just kind of sticking with this because I'm a little bit more emphasized on the stronger level of the short-term bullish level here. And then I want to see this up here kind of kick in or not. I think it will kick in. I don't think we're getting up there. And then I want to see a down move. Then we'll see what happens, right? I'm very intraday adapting with the stock market right now. I'm much more confident in the general Forex market. Whereas the stock market kind of wants to go higher at any point, and it doesn't have to go as low as I think it is right now. So I have more confidence in the Forex market. So now you can guys sort of take note of that. Energies. Yeah, let's take a look at oil. Obviously, you guys can see I have a trade. Not really anything has changed here. It's a little bit more loose. So obviously my support level is there, where it is right now. And yeah, I think that we have the general bearish level here, 70.52. I'm just gonna write that here, 70.52. And I don't think we have any a longer term level that I'm interested in here for oil. So I'm just gonna put NA and NI. I'm definitely generally more bullish, but I'm playing it with the shorter term perspective, right? So I hope you guys can make sense of that. I do think we're coming up to come down. In what capacity, not entirely sure. I do think if we hit this level, it should be coming down to start making a run higher. But I'm a little bit careful with this market. It's going sideways. I think it's going to be let loose in association with particularly negativity surrounding the potential or potential not escalation of the war in Ukraine. If we get something involvement with other countries, I think oil is going to fly. And to me, that's, so I don't really have a longer term perspective on it right now. I'm just sort of sticking with this. I'm probably going to put NA on the support level as well. So that's a little bit contradictory to the short, but this long, sorry. But that's specified with something I don't necessarily have to explain here. So that's just what that is. I'm just going to keep it like this. I definitely think the resistance level is in play. So, if I was going to recommend action for a paper money or account based on the information I'm sharing here, it would be on the downside arrow. And I think I could probably draw it a little bit differently here. So I'm just going to be drawing one simple level here. And this is it. That's not longer term resistance level. It's like that. I'm not really sure what went wrong here. So I'm just going to be doing like that. We can actually move on now. Gold is very interesting. I was talking a little bit about it in my Substack chat. I highly recommend that you guys follow that. I have a longer term arrow that was drawn on the 9th of March. Not really sure what this is doing here. But I had this arrow drawn, and you can see that went rather nicely. I didn't get my longer term positions myself in it. I was very busy last week. But I did get a couple of shorter term trades, or at least attempts that I shared. Some of them, I think the buy orders I had, they didn't really fill. I was trading down here. I remember that. And I was trading for a move up here. I missed all of this, unfortunately. So what happens here? Gold is 3,000. It's all-time high. Obviously, long term, we're going to need a long-term level for this bad boy here. And I think for that, I'm going to just put it right here. I might change that later, but for now, I think gold is going to, something's going to happen to gold that makes this thing sort of stabilize between like 2,700 and 2,300. We could come down in range here for a long time. I think for that to happen, we need to hit this level. As long as we get that 2,700 level, and what level is that precisely? 2699.3, 2699.3. Might change that in my next analysis, so stay tuned for that. I haven't been completely into this market here, but I do think I'm going to share some notes with this bad boy as well. By the way, I kind of want to copy. This for a note that I made today. So I recommend all of my subscribers to read these, but these are my thoughts as it regards to the geopolitics and sentiment on stock market. Of course, some of that applies as well to do like that, and I think that's good enough. And so for oil, I'm gonna write this that long term, very difficult to read. And obviously inflation has left headlines slightly, at least with regards to official releases. We are seeing upmove potential on oil via the risks of war escalation, and I am sure there are advanced fundamentals associated with the isolation politics transpiring between EU East and US, to which international trade of oil can be severely affected. Most importantly, I want to see if an escalation or failure of satisfaction of the peace deal leads to oil surge. But the technicals aren't just there long term yet. I think for that to happen, the technicals will eventually be there beforehand. So that's very, very key. So right now, I don't think like there's something that's just gonna jump out from how the pricing of oil is right now. But that's, you know, what I'm sort of looking at. And I think the narrative of that is gonna be in play for a time here. And I will change these as I change my notes, right? So obviously spending a little bit of time writing, we might not need to do that next time. Might be a little bit quicker next time. That was for oil. I wanted to make some notes for oil. Oh, god damn. Okay, that helped. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. Just one chart there for oil. Then we have metals, right? So yeah, gonna make a note for that one too. That was oh. Okay, I think I have to move this one up here. Oh, that's wrong. Like this. Boom, right? And then we can take this. And then we can move that. I screwed up, didn't I? We can do that. And then we can do like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So we have that. And now we can write a bit on gold. I'm just gonna write it here, I think, because I can kind of like see it. Boys, I might be moving this over here. Let's see how that. I think that's better. I'm gonna do that next time too. I just want to keep everything here. So I can just like, you see that? Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. Okay, so for gold, obviously, no, I'm gonna say not obviously. It's a very special thought that only I have. I view gold as you know, in a volatile upside trending condition, meaning it doesn't have to happen, but while though the Ukraine, Russia and other sort of you know, swimming beneath the surface conflicts like, you know, Israel and stuff are stagnating / waiting for key developments. The tariff situation has a bit of a war aspect to it. We are seeing key international trade and information relationships between EU and US turning and flip-flopping like a pancake, and key political figures except that NATO guy kissing shoes at the White House recently. Opening up a rather hostile communications, should we say strategy, in public, leading to a reasonable explanation for why gold is behaving like we got, got a, War 3 already at hand. It would probably be 5,000 if that was actually the case in the works. I see that continuing unless the long-term bullish level is taken, from which technicals no longer align with that thought process and technical expectation in sync, right? So we have the 229 level here, 2699 level here, and I think we're gonna start working higher. I mean, it could come down maybe around here would be the lowest. It's gonna be a very loose call, but I think this is, even if we just check the all-time here, that is a very, very dramatic run on gold, huh? And I think, we're probably from where we left all-time high less. If we just kind of view it like people, they look at Bitcoin a little bit, right? It's crazy to think that, like, even just like 2018, it was down here. It's like 200%. This is a massive market. Not that massive, just maybe $20 trillion now. But if we just look at this, and that's just two anecdotal examples here, but if we look at this area here, I would say we're kind of like around here. So could it go up to like 3.5? I think so. I think 3,000 won't be a topping level to top this market at, in my opinion. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to push this up to, let's say at least 3,200. I think it's kind of what's going to happen here. I think it's going to show a little bit more drama as we have the freshness of some of those international developments. And I think if we get down here, it could sort of start consolidating for a while. So we are bullish in that regard. If we zoom in, we obviously had my expectation here. I do think the shorter term support level, I do think it's here. It might be, I might make it a little bit more precise for my paid subscribers, but I'll just put it here for now. And that means that my longer term prediction of higher prices, maybe up to 3,200, might be in play here without actually coming all the way down and touching that level. And this is not going to be the most precise level, but I think if we do lose that level, we could start seeing a little bit of a down move here and possibly even make an attack for the longer term support level, which might be removed in that case. But yeah, and consolidate, move lower, then run higher. But that depends a little bit on the dollar as well, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'll expand a bit about that in the technicals tomorrow for my founders, when I'm gonna go into a very deep dive of the technicals and the relationships with gold. When do you expect it to be decoupled, like we might seen a little bit recently before the dollar collapsed a bit, and when do we expect that this market might be moving together. So I cover that with founders and technical analysis at very high level. So I think we can actually save that, have the longer term perspective here. I think we will create this as a longer term view. How did I do it here? Original long term arrow. So original long term arrow. I'm gonna put this, and we don't need another longer term video because that's already fresh off the bat there. And then we can go in and do the shorter term view here. Which is a bit like that. I don't have any resistance levels. I just don't have it because this is going up, in my opinion, like that. And I'm gonna put the long-term level as NA for sure. And support will be at this level, which would be 2909.6. And I will NA this one as well. I think we can copy it, right? I think we can. I think I'll just copy it nice and easy to my block templates here, and this is for metals. Yeah, good enough, good enough. Might want to just, yeah, I think we can do that. It saves my OCD a little bit. Okay, so that's metals. Let's go for the last guy we have here. So let's go for crypto. I hope you guys will come to appreciate my my emojis here. So as you guys know, I have my original long-term analysis, and I was looking for this to come up, to come down. This was a bit older than that, wasn't it? Can I open this or like zoom in? Can I open in a new tab maybe? Can I zoom in? This was actually the 9th. So the market hadn't opened. So this is, okay, so it opened down here somewhere. So don't be fooled by that. We're gonna make a new long-term analysis arrow here probably anyway. Because I believe we have two levels here. We have 99305. Let's see. I'm gonna go here at the long-term resistance 99305. This is for CME, and you can watch you can see it on the charts that this is a CME. It will show up here that this is CME. This is the current front contract. So it's directionless long term right now. I know a lot of crypto people. I'm slightly favoring that we're going lower. I'm gonna give a couple of explanations for that in a very short moment. I think we're going to 48,000 next. I do think so. That will upset the all-time high, go up 1,000% narrative. And I would be very happy to see that, but we'll see. I'm very, like, I'm not even trading this. Like, I'm just, someone's asked me, okay, gone through your head, where do you think it's going? I think it's going lower. But we will get to that in a second. So 99305, and then we have 67365. 67365, was that correct? Yeah. Okay, so we have those levels noted here. And now I will go in, okay? I will zoom in. As far as how things are looking here now, and let's just quickly look at the, yeah, nothing has really happened, right? So I'm not going to be looking at levels on this market here. Maybe we'll just keep them for now. You guys can see it's a bit similar. I'm just going to remove these and this. So I believe if you could go back to some of this, maybe the weekly arrows here. So I don't think this anymore. I definitely think if we do climb up here, there's a very good chance that we'll get to like 150,000. So that's an orange arrow. That's what I mean that it's directionless right now. Oh, I'm gonna make this a colored weekly arrow. That means it's above 60%. I think like 115,000 should be pretty easy if that happens. On the other hand, if we get here, I think we could be bouncing up to come down and hit this. So that's why it's kind of a bit directionless, but if we hit this level or this level, I'm on the perspective of a movement taking place here. I'm gonna copy that, and long-term analysis for crypto will be like this. And I'll just keep, no, I'm gonna make a new one. There you go. And then shorter term, I think that we have a pretty clear shorter term resistance level. I'm just gonna put it here. It's not precise. You can follow my paid subscriptions for more precise levels. But I'm just gonna put it around here so you guys can get a sort of feeling that if we get up around this area, I think that would challenge. It's gonna be a very small confidence of that. At the same time, I also think that we have a bit of support level here. It's got like structure is quite nice here for crypto. Then I will be slightly favoring that we make a break for one of these levels. Once we hit those, it's gonna be easy, in my opinion. Which that could take some time, right? And we have, you could be playing these levels. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it, but 90465, that's not how I'm exactly doing my support and resistance levels here. It's more like, I'm more of a support and resistance trader in that once the levels break, I start looking for trades. Right now, I think that I'm favoring lower, so I think that the market is kind of coming up a little bit here and could start trading lower. Absolutely. 8180701. So we don't really need those here, but I'm just gonna copy it for now. So that is my thought process. Okay, I'm gonna copy this over. We have short term, long term. Yeah, good. And then we delete the shorter term levels here because we might update those next time. Okay. I guess that was it. I think we missed this though. Yeah. That's not copy pasting very well, is it? There you go. That is it. Precious. I was gonna write that, but it's a bit arrogant, isn't it? Motivate. Like that, and then we do like this, and then I think we are calling it a Donnerino. Alright guys, that's a fucking 49 minute video here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I certainly did, and I'm gonna be posting this up so you guys can see what I'm thinking and looking at. So Ciao. The cameras are gone. Oh, please look at my little disclaimer and become a paid subscriber. It's only 13 euros a month. Oh my god, find something that's this good, that's that cheap. Oh my god. So anyway, thanks guys. I'll see you guys maybe next weekend or earlier. Oh my god, is that Mount Everest? It might be.